Chapter 6. The trigger moment. Collapse. Nothing dramatic announced. The collapse. No explosion, no betrayal, no big fight with music or fate. It fell apart the same way a frayed shoelace finally snaps. Quietly, after too much wear. At the time, Kobe was working at a manufacturing plant that produced parts for equipment he couldn't spell. The kind of job where the break room smelled like microwaved regret, and the vending machine stole your money like it had student loans. He wasn't passionate about it, but he was good at not quitting. He showed up, kept his head down, and avoided the kind of coworkers who treated the job like a personality. The layoff announcement came on a Tuesday morning. Nobody saw it coming, except the people who read emails longer than the subject line. Kobe was not one of those people. The supervisor gathered 20 employees in a room that usually hosted passive-aggressive safety meetings. The speech was short and full of words like restructuring, unfortunate, and not reflective of your performance. It was over in 9 minutes. Kobe walked out with a box of his belongings. The box contained one mug that said Mondays are a scam, 2 pens that didn't work, a notebook with only 3 pages used, and a charger he wasn't sure was his. Back home, he sat on the edge of his bed and did the math. Rent due in 9 days, car making a death rattle, and his savings account sitting at $27 and some change. If the bank didn't round down out of disrespect, he applied to 3 jobs that night and stared at the ceiling when the silence got too heavy. The next day, his car broke down in the middle of backing out the driveway. Not even on the road, just halfway out, like it changed its mind. He rested his head on the steering wheel and exhaled one word that covered every emotion he had. Man. That week was a loop of frustration and stillness. No job, no momentum, no distractions. Just him and the question he'd been out running for years, what now? One afternoon, while helping his mom bring in groceries, she said without looking at him, "You don't look stuck. You look like you're waiting on yourself." She said it casually, like she was commenting on the weather, but it lodged in his chest. That night, while scrolling job boards and ignoring his reflection in the TV screen, he said something out loud that surprised even him. I gotta leave. Not the house, not the city for a weekend. He meant leave, as in pack up and start over somewhere that didn't already know his highlight reel of almost and abandonments. The idea scared him, which is how he knew it was real. For a few days, he floated between panic and planning. No one believed him when he said he was seriously thinking of moving out of state. You? For what? You ain't got no job lined up. What if it don't work out? Why leave when you got family here? He didn't have a good answer yet. Just a heavy feeling that if he stayed, he'd disappear into the same loop forever. Somewhere else in the city, the woman who'd someday be his quiet backbone heard his name again from a mutual friend who said, yeah, he might be moving away, probably another phase. She didn't know why the news made her say, almost to herself, maybe that's exactly what he needs. The universe leaned in closer. Everything was about to shift because standing still had finally become more dangerous than failing. Chapter 7. Leap into the unknown. People always talk about starting fresh like it's a Pinterest board with clean walls and plants. Kobe's fresh start looked more like a trunk full of trash bags and a ride out of state in a car he prayed wouldn't overheat before the state line. He picked a city 3 states away, not because he had connections there, but because a guy he used to work with once said, they got opportunity out there if you ain't soft. That was reason enough at rock bottom. His mom didn't try to stop him. She just stood in the doorway with that quiet mix of faith and worry only Black mothers have mastered. Don't go trying to be perfect out there, she said. Just don't come back smaller than you left. He hugged her longer than usual. She slipped a folded $50 bill in his pocket just in case, even though she swore she didn't have it. His car, a 2002 Nissan with a missing hubcap, and a bumping speaker system that only played the left side of songs made the trip. Barely. 2 gas stops, 1 near-death rattle, and a prayer circle at a Love's truck stop later, he rolled into a new chapter. He moved into a cramped apartment with 2 roommates he'd met through a friend of a cousin situation. They were cool in that everybody mind their own business kind of way. One worked nights at a warehouse. The other did hair illegally out the kitchen. Kobe claimed the smallest bedroom on purpose, less space for disappointment to stretch out. For work, he took the first thing he could get, a moving company gig. The kind where you pick up furniture for strangers and pretend not to judge how heavy it is or how dusty their TV stands are. His first week, his body woke up sore in muscles he didn't know could file complaints. But the money was steady, and nobody knew him as the dude who failed at 5 different dreams. Here, he was just new guy, or sometimes bro, if they forgot his name. The loneliness didn't punch him. It seeped in. He'd come home, sit on an air mattress, eat dollar menu nuggets, and scroll through old contacts he didn't want to call. Some nights he'd hype himself up with impossible lies like, "I'm just in my grind arc." Real bosses start like this. Other nights, he'd look around and think, "I really left everything just to struggle with strangers." Still, something was different now. The fear wasn't paralyzing anymore. It was fuel. Ugly, uncomfortable fuel, but fuel nonetheless. He started exploring the city on off days. He found a cheap barber who used too much cologne. He found a laundromat that only took quarters in attitude. He found a corner store that sold tacos in the back after 10 p.m. These were little things that stitched his life into this new place. And without trying, people started noticing how he moved. On jobs, he was the one lifting the heavy end without complaining. He was the one who didn't panic when items didn't fit through doorways. He was the one who made half the crew laugh even when they were sweating through their shirts. He had no title, but leadership didn't need one to breathe. And across town, not far at all, the woman who would one day be his biggest believer had just moved there too, months earlier. Not for him, not because of fate, just because her own life had nudged her into new territory. They didn't meet yet. They might have even crossed paths already. Same grocery aisle, same gas station, same street light at different times. The universe wasn't rushing, just lining things up. Colby didn't know it then, but for the first time in years, he wasn't running from life, he was walking straight into it.
Well, there you have it, the season's end of the original OVA of Colby Wickford's story, Distant Reach. Check out the whole journey this New Year's Day. See the hustle turn into a calling. Witness the moment the CD hustler finally finds his seat at the table as a creative director. Because while they say ambition doesn't always come with a plan, for Colby Wickford, it started with a $10 burner and a dream sold 2 for $5 on the school bus. From the failed debut of the Street Scholars to the hoop dreams that hit the rim and stayed there, Colby learned that almost doesn't pay the rent. He chased every lane fry cook, warehouse muscle, even the street lines he knew weren't for him. He wasn't just job hopping, he was outrunning the feeling of being stuck. Then came the collapse, the layoff, the broken car. Driven by his mother's words, Colby took a leap into the unknown, moving 3 states away to find the man he was supposed to become. Be prepared to see how the story ends with all 12 chapters releasing in full physical book form, available on Amazon in all countries this New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and stay tuned for Book 2 coming soon.